Probably one of the most famous verses for trying to prove the deity of Christ is John chapter 8, verse 58. Let's take a look at it. And Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am, ego eimi, in the Greek. Then they took up stones to cast at him, but Jesus hid himself and went out of the temple, going through the midst of them, and so passed by. There are three questions we should ask. Does the context make sense to translate it this way? Before Abraham was, I am. Does the Greek need to be translated this way? Does it have to be translated in this fashion? Before Abraham was, I am. And thirdly, does the Greek match the I am in Exodus? And the reason I ask that is because people almost always assume that this is Jesus making reference to God speaking, telling Moses that he is the I am in Exodus chapter 3. So let's look at each of these questions. Starting with, does the context make sense to translate it this way? So let's look at the larger context, starting in verse 39. They answered him, Abraham is our father. And Jesus said unto them, If you were Abraham's children, you would be doing the works Abraham did. But now you seek to kill me, a man who has told you the truth that I heard from God. That is not what Abraham did. Notice here what Jesus says in verse 40. The Jews already wanted to kill Jesus. The Abraham statement in verse 59 was not the reason they wanted to kill him. It was only the straw that broke the camel's back. The Jews were already seeking to kill Jesus before that. Way back here, quite a bit earlier in the dialogue. So they did not try to kill Jesus because of the statement about before Abraham was, I am, at least the way it's translated there. They did not try to kill Jesus and we can see that because they already wanted to kill Jesus. That, what Jesus said in verse 59 was just the last straw that caused them to go ahead and pick up stones. But they already wanted to kill Jesus. So the statement about in verse 59 about Abraham was not the actual motivation for trying to kill him. So let's continue on. You were doing the works your father did. They said to him, We are not born of sexual immorality. We have one Father, even God. And here the Jews claimed to be sons of God, and they accused Jesus of being an illegitimate child. Jesus said unto them, If God were your Father, you would love me, for I came of God, and I am here. I came not of my own accord, but he sent me. Why do you not understand what I say? It is because you cannot bear to hear my word. You are of your father the devil, and your will is to do your father's desires. He is a murderer from the beginning, and does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks out of his own character, for he is a liar, and the father of lies. Jesus said that they were the sons of the devil. And remember, this is already after they were already wanting to kill Jesus. This is simply escalating the situation. But because I tell you the truth, you do not believe me. Which one of you convicts me of sin? If I tell the truth, why do you not believe me? This is getting to be a very heated argument between Jesus and that group of Jews. Whoever is of God hears the words of God. The reason why you do not hear them is that you are not of God. So he's saying that they are the sons of the devil. Jesus says that they are not of God. He's saying a lot of very inflammatory things to these people who already wanted to kill him. The Jews answered him, Are we not right to say that you are a Samaritan and have a demon? So they're saying that they answering back saying Jesus is demon possessed. Jesus answered, I do not have a demon, but I honor my Father, and you dishonor me. Yet I do not seek my own glory. There is one who seeks it, and he is the judge. Truly, truly, I say unto you, if anyone keeps my word, he will never see death. The Jews said to him, Now we know that you have a demon. Abraham died, and as did the prophets. Yet you say, if anyone keeps my word, he will never taste death. So, this is a argument that's escalating with people who already wanted to kill Jesus. Escalating even further. This is not a calm conversation. Are you greater than our father Abraham who died and the prophets? Who do you make yourself out to be? The Jews accused Jesus of being demon-possessed and were enraged when he suggested he was greater than Abraham. Jesus answered, "If I glorify myself, my glory is nothing. It is my Father who glorifies me, of whom you say he is our God. But you have not known him, I know him. If I were to say that I do not know him, I would be a liar like you. But I do know him, and I keep his word. Your father Abraham rejoiced that he would see my day. He saw it and was glad." So we need to ask ourselves, going on, does the Greek need to be translated this way? The Greek phrase translated as I am is ego eimi. It certainly can be translated this way. However, John chapter 14 verse 9 uses it in a different way. Legeo to oisus tosuto chrono meth umon eimi. It says to him, Jesus, so long a time with you am I. In the King James, it is, Jesus saith unto him, how long have I been so long in time with you? So eimi can be used to simply convey existing from a point in the past until now, which actually is the question that they asked Jesus, how old he was. This means that the phrase in John 8:58 could have been translated, since before Abraham was, I have been. They could translate it the same way as John chapter 14:9. It's the same word, eimi. I believe that translated this way makes more sense in the context of the preceding verses, because it actually answers the question that they asked him. Translated as before Abraham was, I am, does not really answer the question, but translated as since before Abraham was, I have been, does a much better job of answering the question that the Jews actually asked him. And we can see that that same word, eimi, is used in chapter 14:9 in this way, have been. So it is a very legitimate translation, because we see the same word being translated this way in another passage in the same book. And it does a much better job of actually fitting the context of the question that's addressed to Jesus. Now, finally, does the Greek match the I am in Exodus? Jesus was probably speaking Aramaic to the Jews during this argument. The author John translated the argument into Greek. Most of the Greek-speaking Jews and Christians used the Septuagint in the first century. The New Testament authors often copied the Septuagint when quoting Old Testament passages. So if the author of John wanted to indicate that Jesus was indicating that he was the I am in Exodus chapter 3:14, he had most effectively done this by using the phrasing of the Septuagint. And this is how the Septuagint renders it. Kaiepen hatheas pros monsin ego eimi haon. Kaiepen autos eres tois vois Israel haon apestalke me pros ilmas. And said God to Moses, I am the being. And he said, thus shall you say to the sons of Israel, the being has sent me to you. Haon, the being. If he really wanted to convey that Jesus was talking about, was actually connecting, if the author John was really trying to connect to this with Exodus 3:14, he would have much more effectively by using the Greek in the Greek translation of the Old Testament, which, while it contains the words ego eimi, it's haon that's actually the key phrase that you would need to include. Imagine I was talking with you, and Ben said to Moses, I am Ben. And he said, and thus shall you say unto the sons of Israel, Ben has sent me to you. You wouldn't think that my name was I am Ben. Obviously, my name is Ben. People often get confused when they think God said, I am that I am. They think this because they read the common English translations. Exodus wasn't written in English. It was originally written in Hebrew. If you read it in Hebrew, you read right here, the most direct translation is, I will be what I will be, or I will become what I will become. I am that I am is not the most accurate way to translate the Hebrew. If the author of John was trying to indicate that Jesus was claiming to be the I am, he would most effectively done this by writing Haon, or Ego Eimi Haon, not Ego Eimi. Ego Eimi by itself does a terrible job of connecting Jesus' statement to Exodus 3:14. In fact, John did use Haon to refer to God in Revelation 1:8. Ego Eimi ta Alpha kai ta Omega, lege kurios Atheos Haon kai en kai Hamenos pronto kroto. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, saith the Lord, which is Haon, and was, and which is to come, the Almighty. This shows that John connected Haon with God, the phrase Haon. He understood that. That if you want to connect something with God, especially if you want to make any kind of reference to God from Exodus 3:14, Haon needs to be in there. I mean, does not connect it with God in Exodus 3:14.